boot back up.
I don't know if he knows what he's going to do. Because the event might have died.
Oh, really?
I don't know how that works.
Oh, they've got to have something that they can do. All right, hopefully things are starting back up. It's still showing offline, even though I can see this live. Let me know if you guys are there, if you can see us. Whoa. Welcome back.
Hey, we're back.
So, that was weird.
Yeah. So not only did the power go out, but Kyra and I are in a windowless room, right?
We're in a studio.
So it was pitch black.
100% black.
It's never happened in a year that we've been streaming. Has the power ever gone out?
So I'm like reaching for my phone. I'm like, flashlight. Like, okay. All right, I see stuff. Then it came back up. We just had to wait for the modem to reboot so we can get our internet back. And here we are. Sorry about that, guys. We've got pairings for round 3 up, I believe.
So the event reporter also, he has to reconnect to it or however that works. So it might be a moment more.
Okay.
Before we actually start seeing some magic.
But thank you so much for those of you who stayed.
That was so much fun, wasn't it?
I'm so sorry.
So what you guys should do to reenact, to feel like you're a part of it, just go to your breakers and turn off all the power to your house.
Yep, all of it.
And then you'll get to enjoy what we did.
And make sure you're in the basement, in a room that doesn't have like a window well thing.
But be surprised when it happens.
Yeah.
Because we weren't expecting that at all.
Mm-hmm. Who died? I don't know.
The power.
It was so weird.
So weird. It's back.
I'm glad it's back.
So, we'll go find out how close we are to actually having magic being played here.
All right. So yeah, just your normal power outage. That's just totally something that we expected to happen and whatnot.
Back up. So Davis versus Ryan.
Excellent. That's the match I wanted to see. Except for that's not Squee Chain.
No.
That's okay. I'll get over it.
So it's the...
You're so lost.
Table, right?
We had a power outage. And we lost the stream for a minute. Yep. We had to wait for the modem to reboot so that we could get internet back. All right, let's just jump over. Let's shuffle cam the living crap out of this. Let's do it.
So Davis is on your left.
Left.
Davis is playing a bug delver.
Wait, I can't bug. People would like that.
Soul Tide Delver, but it's like a pretty stock list.
Don't worry, Brian. We're back. We're here.
On our other side, we have Ryan, and he's playing a dirty deck.
Yeah, he's very dirty.
It's dirty.
He's 2-0. He's feeling pretty good about it. He was telling me about some Platinum Empyrean garbage.
That sounds dirty. Tell the power not to go out next time. Yeah. So Brian, just imagine, Kai and I are here. We're talking. Yeah. We're filling time before the next round starts, and the room gets pitched into complete darkness. There's no windows. We were not expecting it.
No.
Took a little bit of time. I'm used to the power going out at my house. It happens enough that I'm used to it. Like
it did take a moment.
It was kind of like what just happened? Are we okay in there? We are. Luckily, our phones that are in our pockets have flashlights. Otherwise,
that was the first thing I did. Like
it may have been.
It goes out, and I go
tricky to
what the, and then I grab my phone. I'm like, all right, flashlight button. Where? We can get some light in here.
So Davis is playing with a new altar that I did not too long ago, and we can find it when it gets played.
Did I spoil it? I already spoiled it.
It's okay because it's cool looking. After this round, I'll show it to you guys on a better resolution. But I'm curious to see what it looks like from this distance.
So all of you that are still here, if you wouldn't mind just like throwing out a text to somebody who left the stream. I know you totally have their number. Just let them know we're back up.
Just let everybody know. Because everybody... Casey, I do. I'll post a link, or if you want to stick around, I'll actually just take you right to my Facebook page.
Here, I'll post a link, and we're actually going to be talking about his altars after this round. If you're interested in talking to him at all about it,
I may have to put it in the.
Oh, that's right.
Because for some reason
that worked.
Oh, it worked.
Yeah.
There it is.
So go ahead and check the link I just posted in chat.
I purposely am doing things that are attempted to be tournament playable.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interacting with or enhancing the existing art instead of completely covering it. But I do that too. Doing some lingering souls for somebody right now, which is a cool. total art replacement. They're going to be pretty sweet.
I mean, I've seen lingering souls that were an art replacement before, but these are going to be very different.
No, very similar.
Oh, really?
But unique. He saw those ones and said, "Ooh, I want one. I want some of those."
You have 74 of 75
Whoa.
of your turbo deck altered. Jeez.
So pretty much what that means
is that you get to do the 75.
No, you need to start over with a new 75 and have me alter them.
All right, guys, we got a turn 1 Ponder from Davis, and then we've got a turn 1 Ancient Tomb into a Grim Monolith.
Grim Monolith, where the Grim Flayers live.
Yeah.
Into a Metalworker. This is living the dream. It's very dirty.
Very dirty.
It's clear as mud.
This actually is like exactly what Ryan wants to do.
Right.
Like, really? No days?
Yeah.
No days again? Okay. All right. Well, we'll see where it goes from there. We've got a fetch land.
74 or 75 is pretty sweet on Turbo Depths, Casey. That's pretty cool.
I'd be really interested in seeing
it. If you're part of the Facebook altars, and here's one. It's a Hypnotorok. Look at that thing. That's cool.
That is really cool.
It's actually really hard to see the coolness of that card from here, but you've probably seen some of my stuff because I post into the altars group all the time. Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, we'll definitely check out the link that I sent you because he's got some cool stuff. And he keeps getting better at it.
I keep trying new and different things,
yeah.
I think is what it is. And I push my own ideas and just keep expanding on them, which is what's fun. I think I'd grow tired of it. I was doing masterpieces for a while, and I kind of got tired of doing them because they were just the same thing. What is the name of the Facebook altars group? If you search MTG altars, what's it pull up? Altered cards and artwork. Is that it? Yeah, community. MTG altered cards and artwork community is I'm surprised actually you don't know about it since you've had so many cards altered. It's a pretty sweet spot where you can commission things, see altars, buy altars, request people to do altars, or just look at them, which is mostly what I do. Every now and then I post stuff in there.
So Delver's totally good at getting past 2 loads on
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ponder is really good when it costs 3.
and when they're facing down 10 power on the board,
yeah,
can't block any of it.
He got to play an altered him to Torok. I think he's winning.
Oh,
right.
It got a Caracas and a Glimmer Void.
He's like, I'm going to play this Brainstorm. Oh wait, no, I'm not. I'm going to fetch and then play 3 mana. 3 mana Brainstorm is probably a fixed Brainstorm, actually.
Yeah, probably.
If it was printed in Standard.
Actually, didn't they kind of print the 3 mana one? I guess it was an enchantment. It was like the Oath of Jace or whatever.
Right,
yeah. It was pretty similar.
Right on, Casey. I'm glad. Hey, give us a follow here as well since you're joining stuff. We do this legacy thing every Tuesday and Friday night.
And every Tuesday we always go through Bryce's altars.
Just about every week I have something new to show off.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing to do to fill time between rounds, right?
It actually really is. I look forward to it every week.
So, did you know that Lodestone Golems can kill you?
Yeah, it turns out they're like okay at attacking.
Not only do they just like stop storm decks from storming off, but they also are a pretty good win condition.
I love this. He's brainstorming because he needs this. He needs this this Delver to flip so he could trade with one.
That's a pretty good answer. Fatal Push doesn't it could work, right?
Yeah.
Fatal Push could also be an answer.
He's gonna have to like flip, block Lodestone Golem, block both of them, right?
And then kill a Lodestone Golem.
And then he's gonna have to like untap and be able to kill one. Which he might be able to do.
No, he'd have to have something die though.
So he needs to find a fetch?
Or use it.
He has a fetch. Save that for next turn.
Alright. Delver flipped. Yeah, because he can't cast the Fatal Push here anyway.
Here comes the attack. I'd be really tempted to attack the Metal Worker.
So what he could do is he could float mana, right? Mm-hmm. He could tap his one, use Deathrite for another one, float mana, and then use Fatal Push to kill it here at the end of Ryan's turn.
It needs to be at the end of combat.
Yeah, after the other one died, right? So.
No, he's just gonna untap and do it.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah, he's still going to have to lose a life to do this off the fetch land, and then he faces down 2 damage off of,
right. the 2 Metal Worker death.
Yeah, he's dead. Yep.
Death by Metal Worker.
Yeah. Metal Worker number 2. That's what sealed the deal.
I'm alright with it.
He
got to play a really cool Hymn to Draw.
Yeah, just pass the turn. Attack with everything.
Smash. Fatal Push. Yeah. They go. Ryan gets game 1 off of a pretty efficient mud start when Davis didn't have any counter magic on the early stuff.
Look at this.
Our backup match is
Terry and Paul.
Paul.
I should have known that.
Paul plays lands.
Yep.
He's known for it.
I bet this is a bad matchup for him, though. Sneak and Show?
Sneak and Show, yeah.
Yeah, there's no way.
That's probably the worst, actually, matchup for lands. To the point where I wouldn't be surprised if Terry got game 1.
This could easily be like a 10-minute match.
Yeah, so
and 7 of those minutes are shuffling.
Lands doesn't want to see Sneak and Show, and it doesn't want to see Show and Tell or Storm, right? Those are the 2 big ones.
Yeah.
Other combo decks as well, Reanimator, stuff like that isn't great, but Lands is really strong against Delver decks.
Yes.
Grixis Delver and other mid-rangey fair decks, to the point where it feels busted, feels broken. And people that play against it a lot feel like it's like some tier 1, it's the best deck ever because of how good it is against
Delver.
All of those decks.
Yeah. I still think Lands is really good, though. I mean, there are hands where Lands can just like turn 2, turn 3, kill you with a Mirror Ledge token. Yep. And the only thing about that is it need to be a pretty slow hand from the Show and Tell player, and they'd have to have their fastest hand, right? Mm-hmm. Or they'd have to have like the Mana Bond hand.
Yeah, and the Show and Tell player, once they realize they're playing against lands, can speed up play a little bit too.
Yes, they can.
Right? They don't have to protect and set up as much. They can just go for it right away.
Yeah, I don't even think that lands has a lot of sideboard for that matchup either. I feel like that's just one of their matchups where they're just like, yeah, I'm going to take the loss on this one.
Yeah, they can bring in like a Pyroblast, right?
Yeah.
and hope.
Yeah.
Cross fingers.
I have definitely played against Show and Tell where they just like never found a creature, because they've only got like 8 in their deck, and they just kept cantripping into cantrips.
Yep.
They just like every turn they just cantrip like twice and just never found anything. Yeah. It's probably it's not probable, but
it's kind of how you feel when you play against Storm, though, right? When Storm is going off and they just don't quite get there. It's not because you did anything right. It's because their deck stumbled.
Gotta fix this. Hold on. It's what, 21?
$45? Is that right?
So. No, 55. Yeah,
okay.
That should be right.
Makes sense.
Sorry, I had to fix our round timer there, guys. I just noticed it had like 10 minutes left, and I'm like, that's not right.
We had a weird thing happen. If you guys are just joining us, right before round 3, we had the power go out here, so our stream died, and the event reporter died, and everything. Right, so it took a little bit to get it back up, but Here we are.
But we're back.
We've had some interesting Magic so far, round 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
We had a really interesting Squee food chain deck that we'll probably put on camera next round as well, because I think it's a fascinating deck and it's something fun and different for Legacy. We also had Miracles versus what, round 1?
I don't know.
It was Miracles.
4-color.
Miracles versus 4-color, and Miracles won that one.
And then we had the mono black deck. Lose to Delver, I think.
So Chalice on 1, that's fun, right?
Delver. Yeah, Chalice on 1's totally fine.
Yeah. It looks like Davis has an Abrupt Decay though, so he's all right with that.
He'll be okay.
He's gonna do it now.
Yep.
And
Ryan feels fine about this.
Has a follow up, right? He's gonna cast a Delver probably here. Put a quick clock down, especially when your opponent only has an Ancient Tomb out, right? That feels good. There we go.
Yeah, this might be too fast of a start for Ryan to deal with. We're definitely gonna find out though. I mean, what is Davis gonna do if a Platinum Imperion hits the board?
Right. Yeah.
All right. Here's the City Traders. There is a Grim Monolith, and
is that a Walking Ballista in Ryan's hand? That's an interesting play here.
5 mana, Kaldatha Forge Master.
Okay.
All right. So there are only 2 artifacts on the board right now, so he needs to be able to untap and play another artifact. But sure enough, like, this is gonna go get Platinum Imperion. I do not think that Davis can kill that card. Is there something?
Yeah, it would be like K Command, but he's playing Sultai, so he doesn't have that. I don't think so. Fatal Push and Abrupt Decay don't hit it.
So, my only concern for Ryan's case, he doesn't have another artifact in hand.
Right.
He has a Warping Will and like 3 land.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing Mud. He could top deck one pretty easily.
He's probably going to lose some of them to a him here. Some of those cards.
Yeah, I don't think he's concerned about that. Is this still upkeep, or did Delver really not flip?
I don't know.
It did not.
Was that a Ponder?
It was a Brainstorm. You get a Brainstorm? Maybe I'm wrong. Oh no, it was Ponder. My bad. All right, take a look at 3.
Now he gets to set up Delver.
If I'm doing this, I'm probably taking this Abrupt Decay. Or no, he's just gonna shuffle. I probably would have taken the Abrupt Decay and hit the Grim on.
Yeah. When you've got a him in hand that you're about to play, you want Delver to flip. Okay.
Looks like he's just gonna bank on this him. Which, I mean, we know that like Ryan does not care about any of these cards. He'd probably be happy seeing the Warping Well stay in his hand, but like he just doesn't. Yeah, and it did. So City of Traders down and Cavernous Souls down.
Mm-hmm.
That'll leave him with what, Urborg and
a Cloudpost.
Yeah,
in the well.
And doesn't it look like he found what he wanted?
Yeah, land is not what he wanted.
Oh no, he found a Staff of Domination.
Oh, okay.
Found a staff.
That's intriguing.
Yeah, 2 mana. And he's gonna tap this Wasteland for mana. The Staff of Domination. Here, read this card and its 6 abilities.
It does things, like draws lots of cards when you have all the manas.
But do you just like run this out now? I probably would. No, I'm just gonna pass.
You can do it whenever you want, right?
Yeah. Why? Like, I don't know.
Delver flips over.
He's like, look, I found a Force of Will.
Yep.
It's a little late. A little late for the Force there.
Yeah, he would have needed to Force of Will any artifact that Ryan draws, right?
Actually, to pull up Staff of Domination.
Any Karns in this mud list? I do not know.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that he's the type of guy who wouldn't mind testing him. He loves playing these Chalice decks. He's got like everyone in existence. So he's probably looking at Karn quite a bit. Sorry, I'm just like going blank there. Let's pull up Staff of Domination, and it's... Oh, he already got rid of it?
Yeah, let's go.
Dang it. And here I was going to show you.
So he's going to go find an Imperion?
Yeah, Gamer Champ. I was definitely knew what card you were talking about. Or that. Yeah. Or he's just going to grab Blightsteel Colossus.
That's a card too. The one that wins games instead of the one that...
Yeah, so he's doing this end of turn, right?
Pauses.
So he should be able to win the game next turn. Yep, he's got a block here. He'll take 9 Infect. And there's no possible way that he can block enough this next turn. There's Cloud Post.
Yep. If Davis can deal 11 damage, he's still in it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that happen.
He could gain 2 life. Go up to 20.
Oh, that'd be good. There's no way he can lose now.
So are we going to see Mud versus Miracles for our finals match? I think that's what's going to happen. What a fancy, nice poison indicator there. Jorgensen, it is fancy and nice. I agree with you, actually.
Yeah. No, not Miracles. Not Miracles. Miracles lost. It's Show and Tell.
Oh.
Show and Tell versus Mud.
Cool.
Unless Paul can like somehow beat him, which looks like he's gonna get this game. Yeah, looks like Paul's locking up.
We'll jump over to Lands versus Show and Tell in just a minute. We're gonna see this end.
I don't really think we need to see this end.
I
think this is over.
It's just about to end, right? There's nothing in hand, right? Davis doesn't have anything.
He doesn't have anything. Yep, and he'll scoop it up.
All right.
Let's jump over. Let's watch Paul take down game 2. I think Terry did win game 1. I'm not 100% sure though. So we'll wait for a moment.
So has Terry just not gotten there? Is that what's happened?
Yeah, looks that way. I think does he have a pedal? Do you have a pedal? There it is. Oh, response to the pedal.
K grip on sneak attack.
He ordered his cards wrong.
If pedal had been out, no, it's got split second.
You still have priority.
Oh yeah, you'd still be able to put some out, huh?
I think.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
that would work. If pedal came out, so what you do there though is you just respond to the sneak attack with K grip on the pedal. No, because then you could float. You can respond with you can sack the pedal.
Mana ability.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Whoops. All right, we got to see one more game from these guys.
I mean, I don't. He may not have been dead. Was there like a maze or something? There could have been a maze. He may not have been dead to the Annihilator.
Oh, these guys are done.
What? So
no,
we're gonna
no, that's sideboarding. Sorry, for a moment there, it looked like he was packing it up. But...
I was like, no, they're hiding all their cards.
Yeah.
That
would have been a quick end to this round. It's going to be a quick end to this round anyway, I think.
Yeah, probably. Then we'll have like 20 minutes to cover the 2 altars.
I'm working on a lot right now, actually. There's a whole bunch of altars in the pipeline. Some of them are going to be pretty sweet. Somebody that I met in GP Seattle is having me do several cards from a Reanimator Legacy deck. And that'll be fun.
Cool. I can't remember who I was talking to, but somebody was mentioning, they're like, "Oh man, I love all the Bryce altars that just have like the black fade on everything." I think he was a standard player. He's like, I would just want my whole deck done like that. What price could he get me? And I was like, I don't know. I'll talk to him. Like, what do I look like as manager?
You get a small cut.
I do.
It's not actually noticeable yet.
I mean, I promote your altars.
It's really small cut, all right?
Like small to the point where I'm literally getting nothing?
Yeah, about that size. But I'll double it.
Oh, nice. Nice. Do I get a discount on an altar?
Yeah.
Do I get a free altar?
As soon as I finish up with all of the ones that I have to do, yes.
All right, so let's recap this. So I make $0, and you're gonna double that, so that I make 0 times 2 dollars.
Yeah,
and then you're gonna give me a free altar once you don't have any more altars.
As soon as I have time,
will never happen because you're constantly getting more.
It seems like it.
Altars. Okay, glad we're all on the same page. I think I need to stop promoting.
There you go. It's a good idea, actually. I mean, if I wasn't getting anything out of it.
They might be done.
This is some sideboarding.
You're just showing a bunch of cards. I don't know, maybe. No, he's packing it up. I think Paul won that round.
Oh, whoa. Lands took down show and tell, huh? There's some hymns. All right, I'll show you guys some hymns. We can keep this.
We're going to see the same hymns that Terry's shuffling through right now.
All right, there we are.
After you see our lovely faces there for a moment.
To do, huh?
Take it all. Take it away.
So,
you're the captain now.
These hymns I did for Davis here. He was going to have me do some different cards, but there we go. And
boom.
I did some Lion's Eye diamonds quite a while back, and he really liked the way those turned out. So he said that this was his favorite card art. And so I did a digital mock-up of something pretty similar to this, and then it was an effort to try and replicate it in paint, but I think they turned out pretty sweet. It's kind of a illuminated text look kind of thing, I guess. Yeah. I'm not sure.
I really like it.
So these I just finished, and I've done. If you go to my page and you come into the post, it's the way Facebook does it is kind of silly sometimes. Some of them are done mobile and other ones I've uploaded differently, so there's kind of two different categories, or you can just go here where they all are. If you scroll way down, there's the LEDs. These are still, I really like the way these turned out.
Me too.
They're really cool in that they're almost identical, even though I'm doing it all by hand. They're really, really close to each other, and the digital one had kind of like a stained glass look almost going on, and I sent a picture off to the client. He's like, I really like the glass look, so I actually added a little bit more blue behind it to get that effect. And so instead of just a pattern, it kind of does come out that way. You have to squint a little bit. But then there's also another card that kind of similar. This is for the same deck. This is for a Belcher deck. These Tinderwalls. It's kind of the same thing that's going on with the hymn and the Lion's Eye Diamond. And I haven't seen a lot of other altars doing stuff quite like this.
Definitely not.
Which is kind of a fun, unique thing. You can see the inspiration for the hymn is in this Elvish Spirit Guide. I just kind of actually completed it and went with more color than just green. But I like how the same theme can be reused and changed up quite a bit. But obviously I've done a lot of other things. I'm working on a storm deck for somebody with this kind of circle theme going throughout it. And we're calling it arcane circles or magic circles, right? Dark Ritual is one of my favorites in the way that the pentagram shape really lined up really nicely with the actual existing art. And so it's just kind of fun to work with that, figuring out a pattern. Most of the time I find something online deep in the internet somewhere that I think works with the existing art, and then I tweak it, Photoshop it to make it work. Most recently, I just did these archive traps. I really like how these ones turned out. I sent him 2 mock-ups. He said he wanted like an arcane circles thing, and so I sent him one of those, and he's like, oh yeah, that's what I want. But then he saw this one, and he's like, I want them both, can you do both? So I did 2 of each. So he's getting 2 of these and 2 of the other one.
That's great.
And then I'm doing something that's more in line with these lingering souls that I've done in the past for him. But yeah, I recently did some Eldrazi for somebody here in store. These Bomat couriers are headed up north a little bit. These aren't really my thing, but they're kind of fun and different to do. And same thing, I do a digital mock-up first, so you have a pretty good idea of what they're going to look like. I really dig.
Yeah, those are probably some of my favorites.
This one was fun to do. So most of what I do, I use a matte black airbrushing as a kind of a base coat, and it ends up being really, really clean around the edges. And so this one I used a gloss black on top of it, and so the black, depending on how you hold it, kind of goes away, kind of appears.
It's even more hidden on the Tombstalker.
Yeah, the Tombstalker.
And the Murderous Cut.
Let's see, where did the Tombstalker disappear to?
Didn't you have a video of it? You get a video of it.
Oh, okay. Maybe I didn't actually post it.
Yeah.
So here's the Tombstalker in hand. Same thing where this one's a foil Tombstalker, which is really fun with the matte black. It makes the foil pop a lot. But the line work it's fun. So I've got quite a bit of fun stuff to show you in the next upcoming weeks, and I'm sure I'll eventually get back on working on some Storm cards. These Eternal Scourge and Walking Ballista is something I did for Brian they're in his food chain deck, and something kind of along these lines is what's coming for the Reanimator decks. Not the exact thing, of course, but
the lines at the bottom or the ones that are the circle lines.
Kind of the same feel.
Oh.
Circles, lines, pattern, maybe gold. We'll see. But I also do these if you guys have seen these online somewhere, these masterpiece things in silver. This is my creation, and I've started to see some other people do similar stuff, starting to replicate it, which I haven't been secretive in my process for them. But here's the just black style you were talking about. These. Yeah, I kind of want to do an entire deck.
An entire deck like this would look really good.
And it's pretty simple. Yeah. Kind of minimalist approach to altars as opposed to some of the craziness. But yeah, there's the altars for the week.
For sure.
I have a question, Altarist.
Oh, yeah.
For Citadel stuff, there's base, there's like layers and other stuff. What one should someone get for altering?
Using Citadel paints for altering magic cards or for
altering magic
cards? Citadel paints are pretty expensive. I'd stay away from them entirely. But let me come out. I'll leave Kyrie here to chat.
Great. But we already talked about the altars. How am I supposed to come up with things to talk about? You like the masterpiece altars? Here, let me just jump back over. I'm just gonna keep going through his altars while he's doing other things. He had a couple that like really looked good, and surprisingly enough, like he did this basalt monolith. This isn't a foil. The other ones are all like foil, right? What is your going rate per altar? You probably want to most people, when they ask him that, he tells them it depends on the altar and how much time it takes and blah 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 blah. If it's something that he's done before, then it's usually a little cheaper because he already has the process. But this Felt altars page, if you just message him on Facebook, you can work out you can work out your deal with him there. He'll get back to you, see what you want, and negotiate a price, I'm sure. And from what I've heard, he's like usually like really good about getting back to people when they message him on here. He really likes doing altars for the people in our stream. Yeah, see, I own these ones. These are the ones he did for me. These These Urza Saga basics. This one's like my favorite. Where'd the other ones go? What's cool about these ones is he told me he basically took that spray that he was talking about and he just filled in the art part, and then he took paint off for these. So he made them all feel like it's nighttime. He said the only thing that he added besides taking paint off, the only thing he actually added on these were these lanterns here. So like this is just black paint. And then all the color that you see is actually the original paint behind. Like the original paint of the card, which I thought was like the coolest thing ever. Anyway, Bryce is back.
So you can stop talking about me, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh. You're looking at some altars?
Yeah, I was looking at my basic lands because I like them.
Because they're cool.
Yeah.
I still have like all of the different ones sitting out.
For when I tell you to do the rest.
Yeah.
I definitely will.
Jorgensen, you're shh.
Bryce is back. Stop talking.
What is my going rate per altar?
I told him just to message you on Facebook and
yeah,
and
it just depends on the type of altar. There's a range, but yeah, if you want to message me through Facebook or through that page would be great. Because it's kind of hard to answer without knowing what you're after.
Yeah.
It's been fun to try and do different things that other people haven't done before. Like there's a lot of people doing border extensions, and you can find some people that are really talented at it, and I kind of try and stay away from it because everybody's doing them.
Yeah, you can already find a good person to do that.
Yeah.
You know.
I also like the stained glass altars, and I think they're really cool. But again, I've seen that before, so I'm purposely trying to do stuff that is different and pushing what can be done.
Are the stained glass altars like peels, or what do you mean by stained glass altars?
I'll show you.
Okay.
Let's see if we just do this. What pulls up? Like here's a Klug.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
I think they're gorgeous.
Yeah,
like
this
is just a quick Google search for stained glass, right?
That is super cool.
And there's kind of two main. It's not Krug, it's Klug. There's Klug and there's who's the other? Sandraline, right? So they're both very famous for doing these.
Wow.
And Klug actually copied her, I think.
Yeah,
that's what's happened there. But
those are just incredible.
I think they're amazing, right? And you can. I've seen a lot of different styles of them, basic lands that are done that way, or complex angels or whatever. But
Andy Prime needs an altarist to fix LEDs with some random signatures.
Ooh.
You fixed one before, haven't you?
Yeah.
You did like a Grim Tutor or something that
somebody specifically asked me to do a Grim Tutor and cover a weird, like, it wasn't a signature. It was
it was like. It was like how you do like, you know how you're like, for this person, you know, like, and then sign your name, you know, like that kind of a signature. It was weird.
Yeah, Paul, you were on backup, so we didn't see much of your match. If you want to send me a picture and I can at least take a look at it and see if it's something I think I could do. I haven't done a lot of restoration type stuff, but depending on how the signature looks, I could maybe work with it.
Invoke, we got one more round. We have one more round. I think the finals is going to be, I believe, lands versus mud.
Yeah.
Paul, did you win your round? Are you 3-0? Since you're in chat right now. Yeah, that would bother the crap out of me, Andy Prime, for sure. Yeah, Mud's 3-0. He's been tearing it up.
Is that a mud question mark as in what is mud? Is that what?
No, that's like what mud?
Yeah.
Mud's doing stuff. Oh, you're 201. Who else is 3-0? Did you beat Terry?
Oh yeah, we're gonna see some more Squee chain tonight for sure, Andy.
Yeah,
we saw round 2. We saw Squee reanimator chain Nick Fit deck, and we'll put him back on camera for round 2. Yeah. And then we'll have the undefeated or the near undefeated match. Yeah, we were surprised while we jumped in and saw that you guys were picking up cards. We thought we were going to game 3 because you probably don't really want to see food show and tell as your opponent, right?
You must have had some really fast starts. We were expecting him to kind of green, so.
So we've got about 10 minutes left in the round. Both of our matches ended pretty quickly, so we're just hanging out with you guys at the moment. But we'll have one more round of some Magic.
They don't have this page up. Is it Austin who's working? Yeah. Okay, it's all him. We just have this little chat sheet that I'll ask them to feature specific people or whatever, and usually you can see their cursor on it because it's like a shared Word page, except it's like a Google Doc or whatever. And they weren't on the page, so I'm like, they're not gonna see this message. Bryce, go fix it. Terry didn't get anything, and you got really lucky. Yeah, that's actually what we were saying. Is we were talking a little about the matchup, and it just seemed so favored for Terry. But at the same time, if he just doesn't get there, and you have a decently fast start to a 2020, you're gonna win. It's a Google Doc. Yeah, I know. It's a Google Doc. It's a Word document that's for Google. Isn't that the same thing? I didn't know we needed to argue about this. You got to admit, you like that shops have started streaming in areas. Great way to learn about new shops and such. Yeah, I agree. We've actually this store is relatively new. We've been open for just over a year now, and we started the stream I don't know, 8 months ago ish. I started doing it about 5-6 months ago. I've really enjoyed it. Doing commentary is a lot of fun, and watching Legacy is a lot of fun. That's the big difference is so Paragon City Games is located in Draper, Utah, which is just south of Salt Lake City, about 15 minutes. And there wasn't much of a Legacy scene before.
Nope.
Before this store.
We fired maybe once a month. We had 8 people or so in Utah playing Legacy, and now it's twice a week.
Twice a week we fire it every single time.
20 to 30 people.
Yeah. Lower today. We had 14, but
makes sense because there's a playoff.
There was a playoff Jets
NBA game,
yeah, which they lost and they're out. So it happens.
It was fun. I didn't expect them to beat.
No, I don't think it did.
We have 2 matches still going. One's Miracles versus. I don't know what chat is on. Yeah, there were some people trying to get Legacy happening, but that's why it didn't happen often.
Yeah, I know my roommate was one of the people who was playing a lot. Oasis gave it a shot. Yeah, that's not surprising.
But it was when they gave it a shot, it was proxy Legacy.
Yeah.
And I've noticed when you allow any amount of proxies in Legacy, people play quite differently. You get people that are just oh, this is fun and silly, and I don't care. I don't remember by name, Paul. I'm sure I should.
I'm not sure.
Somebody just followed. Well, congratulations, whoever you were. I missed it.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, it said so on the screen. Yeah, proxy Legacy. So when you're playing with actual cards that are yours, you're much more invested, obviously, financially, but also just actually invested in the game and trying to learn it. And when you're playing for just a little bit of prizes, people care a lot more.
It was Invoke Aggro. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate that.
Sounds familiar. Sounds like a lot of Magic players.
There definitely are a lot.
Anybody else who hasn't followed us, go ahead and give us a follow. We're here every Tuesday night and Friday night, and I like to say that a lot.
It's all Legacy. All Legacy all the time.
Paper Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we hang out in between rounds and just chill and watch a timer tick down from 7 minutes.
Yep. That's usually what we do.
It sometimes happens.
Usually chat gives us a good topic, but you guys are kind of filling this at the moment.
Paul's still trying.
That doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't a big part of that group. I've met some people who were, but like, I know Ian used to play with those guys, and
wait, who are we unimpressed with, Brian?
With Paul.
Yeah, I saw Ian in Seattle. It's funny when there's people that are local that you haven't seen in years. You go to another city to play in a GP and you run into people that are local. That happens.
Really, Ian? You haven't seen Ian recently?
Oh, not Ian. You're.
Oh, okay.
Another Ian.
I gotcha.
Is there ever going to be a shuffle cam montage? No. There was a shuffle cam in Magic, and it's something that we don't talk about or speak of again. So there can no longer ever be a shuffle cam related thing, actually.
Oh. Who knew?
We can check out Reddit's malicious compliance. What? Wait, what?
What's going on?
Oh, did he move to Portland? I thought he moved back, Paul. That's why I was confused. I knew he went there. But... Yeah, Wes, tell us a little bit more. What do you mean?
Yeah, what's going on?
We can actually check that. We can just look at internet things. I mean, if that's what you want, we're not going to show them to you.
Don't hide behind casual rules.
All right. How about
Now look at a Jester's recap, huh?
Maybe. Sometimes they're not there. May 8th? Today. Man.
You're on it.
Man. Story. That's not a great one. There's nothing super interesting in that one. Boo. All right. You wanted to discuss something. That's true. I can't.
We want to discuss a salty player. We're Magic players. We deal with salty people all the time.
Oh, like Wes jumps in. You could do this.
We could.
Wes from YouTube, no less.
Yeah.
Way to go, Wes.
Thoughts on Pauper?
Ooh. Do you have thoughts? Pauper thoughts?
It's an online format.
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
Some people play it. I don't. Somebody tried to get it happening here. In fact, I think Paul tried to get it happening here.
He really wanted it to start up here.
What about your thoughts on Brawl?
I really like it.
Even though, what about 1v1 Brawl?
I like it even more.
Should they ban Brawl from Brawl?
Yeah, I've actually, like, when it comes to standard, I'm not a huge fan, but doing this whole Brawl thing, like, it really lowers the consistency of the deck, and it makes it feel more casual, and it's fun to me.
Canlander. I don't know what Canlander is.
I don't know what Canlander is, but I've been messing with Brawl. and I've enjoyed every second of it. Granted, I haven't built a lot of decks. I've just built the one, but it's been surprisingly great.
Kind of is it more fun in the building thought experiment thing of it, or the actual gameplay?
I'm basing it off more of the gameplay. I didn't put a ton of research and work into my decks. I actually like used most of the stuff I just had lying around, or I like got it in the pre-release or whatever. Oh, is Canadian? Wait. Is Canadian Highlander the one where like everything is like a
point system?
A point system?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just never heard of it called Canlander. I've never actually played Canadian Highlander, but it sounds like a cool idea.
100 card constructed cube, basically. Yeah.
With a point system.
Yeah, they have a point system.
So you can't play with too much broken stuff. Yeah. Just
not everything is points.
Right. Okay. So you can't play with like all the Moxes and Lotus. You can play with Lotus and a tutor or something like that, but not.
So most things are 0. Okay.
Right. Yeah, there's a article on Wizards from May of 2016, and it's probably actually pretty.
Just a year old.
So the point system may have changed since then, but
yeah.
Is there an actual kind of like the way EDH had its own website and rules? Is there a Canadian Highlander page, or is it that one? Is that what I just clicked?
Probably.
Yeah. Canadian Highlander.wordpress.com. And so Ancestral Recall is way up there at 7.
You can have 11 or 10 points. Is that what you're allowed?
Yep. 10 points per 100 cards.
Okay.
And so you can play with Recall, but not Recall and Black Lotus.
Yeah.
And you can play with an Ancestral Recall and 1 Mox.
What? Flash is 7 points? Good night.
44 cards total that have points,
and everything else isn't.
It's kind of fun to see what ends up on the list. Yeah, Flash is as powerful as Ancestral Recall or a Lotus.
Yeah, it's because it combos with like everything.
And Time Vault and Time Walker at 6.
It's like super good with Protein Hole.
I think it's a really interesting format. Sounds fun. Good. But you got to have a decent group of people that are all into the same idea, right?
Looks like they're actually like keeping up with like, hey, this shouldn't be this many points. It should be this many points type of deal.
Tweaking the list, yeah. If you run more cards, that seems. Fine.
Oh, you can set different point values if you want.
It's per 100 cards, so.
Oh, you can run a 400 card. Okay, all right.
That's what the rules say. Does anybody do that? Is anybody like, I want to play with all of the power, so I'm going to play 400 cards?
Probably. It's kind of like how people are like, oh yeah, this is the most expensive deck in Modern, and it's like, no, Battle of Wits is the most expensive deck in Modern because it's like 250 cards, and you have to fill it with relevant synergies or just like mid-range value.
Why don't we have Magic being played and shown?
Oh, the round should be over.
So we'll get set up for you guys. It should be pretty close to starting round 4 of Magic. This should be a fun round to see. We'll have
Mud. We should have
Mud versus either lands or.
I think it will be versus lands. He's 2
probably. And
there might be another.
We'll
option.
also have this really interesting Squee Food Chain Reanimator deck on camera, and he lost round 1 and won round 2. I'm not sure how he did in round 3. All right, herrings are going up. Nate versus Josh. He's gonna play against Miracles again. But okay. And then Ryan versus Paul. Mud versus lands.
You might actually be 2-1 then.
Yeah.
Nate with this deck.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So we probably want to start on Ryan Paul. You think that's probably going to be a pretty quick match, like the faster match?
Sure.
That way we can have a match to go to once it's over.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'll fix their light totals because those are just off screen.
Alright, let's get it all set up. So I just overheard Josh. He goes, "Can I request a deck list for my opponent? Because I have no idea what he's doing." It's Squee Chain. What else do you need to know? You feel like Mud destroys lands?
It'll be interesting to see. I don't think I've ever seen this matchup. Josh says, "Can I request a deck list from my opponent, please? Because I have no idea what's going on." Talking about Nate's deck. So why don't we leave that one up and we can see what's happening. We can see them both. Yeah, somebody just posted our Discord link. Hopefully that works. If not, we can post it again.
Let us know if it doesn't.
We just have it called the stream chat, and I don't know if that's what it's called at the moment. We talk about all sorts of things. Most of it's legacy related usually, but when there's spoilers, we talk about those, or when there's other interesting things, we talk about those. It's been fun. We got a lot of regulars that whenever there's something fun, interesting, Magic related, they jump on there and mention it. Success chat. Oh, that's right. That's right. So Jorgensen said a pun. Wait, what? Can we get a change of name to Success Chat? Because I got Jorgensen to say a pun. That was great. All right. The best pun ever. Yeah, it was. It was good. All right, starting us off. Paul on lands, somehow sneaked by Sneak and Show. Ryan on Mud, doing Mud things because he's a dirty Magic player.
I wonder what he drew with. Because he's 2-0-1.
Paul is, yeah. Starting off quick with a Mana Bond in hand. Ooh, he's got a crop rotation and a Mana Bond, so suddenly it's not just blatantly clear that you dump Mana Bond and go.
Yeah.
He's going with he's got Exploration, crop rotation, and Mana Bond. So
holy cow!
So Exploration is the way to go there.
Okay, so this is definitely not what Ryan wanted to see, because Blightsteel Colossus is probably not going to be the win con that's going to work. He does have Wastelands though.
Yep.
So one good hit could still get there.
Attack! 2/2.
Yeah,
swinging in. Get there. That's great. Not sure why it untapped.
Yeah.
He untapped it off of Maze of Ith after damage.
Perfect.
Just cause.
It's not Maze of Ith's not doing anything else.
Yeah. Suddenly Ryan starts going to attack with a hasty. No, he's not going to do that. All right, Ryan's got mana. It's actually not that fast of a start. When you've got a Mana Bond in hand or an Exploration, you should often be able to win on turn 2 against a deck that doesn't have Swords to Plowshares or other interaction, right? But he's missing stage, so he can't go crop rotation into the other piece or whatever. He's kind of going to be hanging out here for a minute.
Yeah, Ryan's considering his options. He doesn't have too many. I mean, he's got a Lodestone Golem, but playing that this turn would mean that he probably would have to spend the entire next turn untapping the Monolith. And he's got a Wormcoil Engine. I'm not sure what the other artifact is. It's a Kudaltha Forgemaster.
Nope, that's our backup match, Andy. These guys are playing for the win, so we're going to show them first. And we kind of figured that since the Squee Chain deck is playing against Miracles, it would hopefully last a little longer.
It probably will. I'd imagine so. This is just race to the big creature.
And so we can show that in between while these guys are shuffling and when they hopefully finish up.
Yeah, so Ryan makes a really good choice. He just goes straight for Kudaltha Forgemaster here. Next turn he should be able to play Lodestone Golem and probably go get Platinum Empyrean or something that Paul's never going to be able to kill.
Yeah, so Paul will have an answer for Empyrean out of the side, but he's not going to have it main deck.
Right. Which then his life total can't change, and then eventually he's just going to get out enough creatures that he could probably win.
And a Blightsteel plus a well-timed Wasteland should do it.
Yeah, definitely. And he does have a Wasteland in hand.
So in fact, he could go for that route right here, right? He could Kudaltha, grab Blightsteel end of turn, and then play Wasteland and win.
Yeah. I think Paul does have a crop rotation. I don't think you don't think he has two Maze of Iths, though. Do you think he has two?
Let's see how this plays out.
That'll be interesting.
I'm not a Mud player, so I don't know the correct lines.
Me either.
Alright, there's a Blightsteel. He also can block once.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. So actually, if he has a loam, that might be enough.
Alright, so here's the line we just talked about. He's going to respond with the rotation, sacking the wastelanded I think he had a Punching Fire in hand, didn't he?
Not exactly ideal in this matchup, but it could kill a Metalworker.
Nope, he does have a second Maze of Ith. Aha! Use your Maze of Ith. He did it.
Yeah, so Ryan's going to be looking for another Wasteland, and it looks like he'll be able to play Wormcoil this next turn. But I'm not sure that's going to come in time. But we'll see. We'll see if Paul can get something going here. He doesn't have either of his pieces to get a Merit Lage, so
yeah, he had to use the crop rotation for the other Maze of Ith. That definitely slows things down.
You space that you could have Blightsteel and Legacy. Of course you can.
Yeah,
you silly human.
Yeah. So now he's got two mazes. Now it's kind of like go get Empyrean and then what, right?
You need to flood the board.
Yeah.
Like that's how he's winning this game.
Yeah.
So
get enough power out before a 2020 comes down.
It's gonna play a Wormcoil Engine here. Oh, game one's already over there.
Of course, that's how it is. So now we're looking at this game going, this is gonna take forever, and our other match is already over.
Maybe we'll just have to switch and watch game 2 of the other match when this is over.
Yeah, we're gonna see a bunch of loaming until Paul finds Dark Depths and Thespian Stage. Tabernacle normally being Lands' way of dealing with a flooded the board situation, but Mud is probably one of the few decks that doesn't care and can just pay for everything.
Yeah, it definitely can.
I think there are a couple other decks that are viable in Legacy, just like 6 or 10 or 15.
I appreciate your sarcasm. BT Roche.
All right, here comes a stage. This guy's not doing anything. See this bigger? And why not put down a tabernacle? Because I can. And a gamble. Oh, it's a gamble. My favoriteest card ever.
So I think Paul does win this game by starting to hit Ryan's lands hard. This way Tabernacle can keep everything but the Blightsteel off the board, and obviously the Blightsteel just can't get through the 2 mazes. So
it's my favoriteest fairest card ever. Whoa. Yeah, Gamble goes and gets a Dark Depths, I think, and loams it back, and the clock is faster than Ryan can do anything about. Unless he can put down Imperion right now.
Imperion would do a lot, that's for sure. But it still wouldn't stop Paul from getting a loop.
Yeah.
With like Ghost Quarter going. And if he's able to do that, then Tabernacle might actually be able to take care of most of his creatures. I mean, it'll never kill the indestructible creature, but it'll kill the Wormcoil, it'll kill the tokens it creates, it'll kill the Platinum Imperion. But that's kind of a long way down the road. Yep, there's the Imperion.
So this game's kind of in a stalled-ish state. I think we're going to jump over and show you guys Game 2 of Miracles versus Squee Chain, because it's a really interesting deck.
It is.
And we can keep this up and tell you guys how this ends up. As soon as they're done shuffling, we'll switch over. Yeah, Blightsteel and Tabernacle. Indestructible, just like a 2020 is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you're right, Andy. I think that Wasteland is going to eventually get there.
I think so.
If Paul makes a 2020 here, then Ryan doesn't get to attack for any damage. All right, here we go. Switching over. So we've got Nate on your right. He's playing the new Squee in Food Chain, along with a Reanimator package, along with Veteran Explorer
like
and
yeah,
Cabal Therapy.
Cabal Therapy. It's a jump deck. He was talking to us a little earlier about how good Entomb can be.
Yep.
So he's going to discard an Entomb and Gristlebrand to Faithless Looting, and then we'll see where things go from there.
Josh brought in some Surgical Extraction, has one in hand.
Yeah, so Surgical Extraction is either going to get rid of the one Gristlebrand in the deck, either that, or it's probably looking to hit Food Chain in one way or another, which teaming up with a counterspell could easily do that.
Yeah, and we don't know exactly how much Josh saw of the deck in Game 1, too. Because it is such a weird list, that normally doesn't happen in Legacy, where there's a viable combo deck that is kind of unknown.
It looks like Josh did win Game 1, because Nate started on the play, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it ended really fast, so.
Paul did go ahead and make a 2020, like we expected.
Surgical the squeeze.
Send a message. Yeah. What is the message? I don't know what I'm doing.
yeah, that is definitely the
message. I think this is the right line.
All right, so in response to this collective brutality, we're going to see that Surgical come in, take care of Gristlebrand, and a Force of Will is going to bite the dust here.
Nate also has a Cabal Therapy in hand, so he'll be able to remove some stuff from Josh's hand. Counterbalance comes down. Looks like Paul successfully has gotten a Wasteland down to start wastelanding away Ryan's several lands.
Yeah, it's going to be a slow burn, but I think Paul's got it. It's weird feeling like you're the safe player when your opponent has a Platinum Empyrean, a Wormcoil Engine, and a Blightsteel Colossus on the board. But you know what? Maze of Ith is a good card, and so is Indestructible 2020. So.
Mm-hmm.
That flies in the air.
All right. Here's a reanimate. Reanimate does not get counterbalanced.
Mud needs a Spyglass or Greaves. Oh yeah, that would be really good. They still can't get through the 2020 with Greaves or Spyglass. Now I think about it.
All right, Squee comes down. First Squee appearance that we get to see.
There he is. Found him.
This one was it entombed? Is that what happened?
You just get it entomb and then pay 3 and cast a 2/1. It's so good. If it gets countered by counterbalance, you just play it again. It's fine. Oh, the 2020 would become a 9/9. Oh, you're right.
Abrupt Decay on counterbalance.
You're
Counterbalance showing a 2-mana spell, but doesn't get countered. Cabal Therapy. Josh laughing at the Squee Cabal Therapy game plan here. Sure enough.
He's like, I'm gonna hit your. What is
takes
it?
a disenchant. A Mirage disenchant. That's great.
I'm gonna guess Squee again. I'm actually like completely behind the whole Cabal Therapy with Squee thing, so
yeah,
I might mess with this deck.
It's
a little
definitely
bit with Nate.
slower than most Legacy things, but
I'm a fan.
If it gives you what you want, yeah.
Source the Squee.
In response to your Cabal Therapy, I'm going to source the... Wait, that doesn't work. This is the most interesting Magic deck I've seen in quite a while.
Yeah, it's really cool.
There's definitely a lot of interesting Magic Legacy decks, but when they become very well known, they lose some of their intrigue, right?
Yeah.
This one's got a lot going on. Here it is again. Squee comes out, takes the Swords to Plowshare, shows the other disenchant. That gives Nate some pause if he gets a food chain.
Nate is a unique snowflake.
Nate definitely likes to brew. So a new set comes out, and every time a new set comes out, it's all right. What card can I do something with? Not necessarily what can I break, but what can happen? Yep, there is a Carpet of Flowers in Nate's sideboard. We saw it in round 2 to pretty good effect. He was able to Walking Ballista and just hard cast it for like 6 or something. That was enough for lethal. Meanwhile, Lands versus Mud is still just going.
Vidalcan Aether Mage? I don't even know what that is. What's that?
It's like a bounce a creature or something.
Is that the 5-mana one?
I think so.
Like the 5-mana 3/2?
Sounds right.
I don't understand why in the world. The Wizard Cycler. It's the Future Sight one. Is that the Future Sight one? What is that doing now? For the Wizard deck.
Is there a Wizard Legacy deck that's happening? Sweet, coming out of the graveyard.
Okay.
Yep,
block.
Snapcaster.
There's search for Escanta.
Return target sliver to its owner's hand. Is that really what it says?
Hackbird, I really do need to listen to Nate's podcast more.
Another Cabal Therapy out of Nate's hand takes the other disenchant. All of the cards that are there to hate on food chain are getting removed.
Yep.
Now it's Carpet of Flowers and then food Squee, right? He's got a lot of mana. Carpet of Flowers, the turn it comes into play, you can move through combat and move to your second main phase and get the mana. So that's what Nate's just done there. And he's gonna flashback Faithless Looting.
It's all about wizards.
They're still on game 1 in lands versus mud.
Yeah.
The match that we thought was going to go quick.
Yeah, right. Boy, were we wrong. Boy, was I wrong.
Carpet of Flowers adds any mana of any one color, right? So he added 3 red, looks like.
Oh, didn't they print some pretty sweet wizards in the commander set too? Have you guys been looking at those as well?
Discards 2 reanimates.
That's a lot of reanimates.
So the idea is off of the new wizard that doubles, it enters the battlefield abilities. Yeah. Is that what we're talking about?
Mm-hmm. For wizards, yeah.
So you can Meddling Mage twice or Reflector Mage twice. Naben, the legend.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
That wizard's pretty cool too. The mythic one.
Terminus goes to the graveyard off of Search for Azcanta. Azcanta flips.
Yeah, we found it, so game's over. Sorry, Squee.
Jorgensen found it 3 times.
We have the other matchup, so I'm not gonna mess with the found it button on this time.
Yeah, we don't have to leave it up, but
I'll
just keep you guys updated on how that actually ends up. They're still going game 1.
Chalice is now on 2, so he can't keep can't keep
that's
casting.
Intriguing.
Life from the Loam.
4 mana Vial.
Guys, I said, oh my god.
So you have to click table 1 over there and then activate it that way. There you go.
That works. Oops.
It's coming. It's there. It is. Whoa! It's upside down.
Why did I do that?
Got it. And then just switch back to table 2 over there. You guys are silly.
But he just moved it.
Yeah, this is gonna be way too much work.
Forget this. Forget it.
Who cares what happens in the other match?
Freaking Jorgensen.
You got it.
You're making me do.
You can see Josh is playing with.
Got to keep Bryce on top of it. No. I am the one. I am the one who finds it.
All right, so Nate is able to get a food chain out.
Well, that's a lot of the battle.
There's a Squee in his graveyard. We saw that Josh has a counterspell, hard counterspell in hand now. I think there's like one of in his deck. So that stops the Imperial Recruiter, Grizzlebrand. Grizzlebrand's already gone. Yep. Nate's got an Imperial Recruiter in hand. But
he's like, look, I got a Squee. Counterspelled. Okay. Dang it.
Okay.
It was a good try.
Yeah. That's interesting, though. That buys him a turn, but is it enough?
He's got 2 lands in hand. Probably not. So, like, he's banking on Azcanta pretty hard this turn.
Yeah. And he might only have one other counterspell in the deck.
He doesn't. According to this, he doesn't.
Yeah, you just cast Squee there, but I'm surprised he countered Squee there, actually. I think I would have saved the counterspell for the
Recruiter.
For the next card, yeah. I think I even would have let Recruiter go. Yeah, there's Force of Will, but he's only with lands in hand, that's not going to be enough.
Save it for the Walking Balls till then.
Alright. Ponder Finds.
Yeah, Nate would want that Panglacial Worm so bad.
Right? Yeah, he has a Pangatial worm in the list, but didn't find one for today. So
I'm sure the store has them. He just forgot to grab it. Yeah.
Good day, sir. Correct.
I said good day.
All right. Does Nate get it right here? I think he does.
I think he does too.
As long as he goes for it.
I said good day. I'm glad somebody else was on that. Thank you, Jorgensen.
Nate's going to start off with a fetch. Gets a unnecessarily land. This will let him pay for Spell Pierce. That's not going to matter. Starting with a Brutality. Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Let's see what you got. He's got it all, is what he's got. He's got it all. Ooh, here's a Brainstorm. Okay. So you brainstorm in response.
Land, surgical, predict.
You can't surgical squee. That doesn't matter.
Nope.
You can't surgical.
He should anyway. That's what he should do.
If there's a recruiter in the graveyard, but I don't think there is. But he doesn't know that that's what Nate's got in hand, I don't think.
Surgical the squee.
And
send a message. He did. He did. Oh man.
All right. After brainstorm, Josh fetches and gets an island and a plains. Give no corner. I like it. Hashtag surgical to squeeze, as if this is a thing that happens a lot.
Yeah, all the time.
Predict. Naming. He named incorrectly off of Nate's deck. All right, so can surgical do anything here? No, it can't.
Do it anyway. Surgical.
Surgical Scarlet of Flowers, of course.
He just wants to see the deck, of course.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
So there's a recruiter in hand. Nate's going to be able to go Squee, play Squee, and then Food Chain, exiling Squee, plus mana, and looping that for infinite. Cast the Imperial Recruiter, go find a Walking Ballista, the one of them, in the deck, and win. So they're going to go to game 3.
They are.
The recruiter has the red expression for this situation. I like it. Here we go. Guess what I get to do? Hey, look.
They're cleaning up.
They just finished that match.
That game.
That game.
I really don't know who won that game. Like I wanna say Paul did.
Probably. That poor Carpet of Flowers. Whose surgical's a Carpet of Flowers?
Did you guys see that? He's surgical carpet. It's a freaking carpet of flowers. What a rude dude.
I think we want to see. I think we want to see this other match, don't we? We don't. Do we care what happens between lands and muds?
No, let's watch some more Sweet Chain for sure. Let's do it.
Riley's even back for it. All right. Josh on Miracles versus Nate on Squeed Chain. Game 3. We're going to have enough time to jump over back to lands.
Seriously. press F. Well, now I have to.
I mean, it was... Oh, the carpet got bent? I didn't see that. It was hard to watch. This is an interesting deck. If Nate does a podcast called Eternal Durdles, you guys can find it, or if you haven't already. And he said he'll be talking about this deck on it. Shame we missed it, because it really just something we could all empathize with, Jorgensen, right? It's interesting how Surgical Extraction is a really good answer to reanimator strategies normally, right? But when you're only playing one Grizzlebrand, It's like, okay, go ahead and surgical my one Grizzlebrand. I'm fine with it. You kind of want to surgical the Imperial Recruiter, I think. And of course, if you can, the Walking Ballista, but that should never end up in the graveyard anyway, right?
Right. It's okay. They'll just replant the flowers in a safer place.
Everybody knows that. It's a carpet of flowers.
Invoke Aggro knows what we're talking about.
You get the vacuum and you just clean up the carpet with flowers.
Yeah.
He's obviously playing 5 Grizzlebrands. No. Let's see if I can.
Eternal Dirtles.
Do we have a plug for it?
I think we do. After maybe we don't.
From Hipsters of the Coast. This is how you find it, right?
I think so.
Yeah. It's through the Hipsters of the Coast, right? Brian, that's how we find it. Just like that. And then you...
Okay, well, here was
Did Therapy hit?
I think it got Brainstorm.
Took Brainstorm?
Yep.
That's great.
So we started off with Preordain, Therapy came down, named Brainstorm. This is actually like one of my favorite things to name on turn 1. Like there are definitely things that Nate doesn't want to see. He doesn't want to see Disenchant. He doesn't want to see Force of Will. These are things that are really going to stop him. But at the same time, I do think that Brainstorm is the thing you want to hit first.
Especially if you have like a Veteran Explorer or something, you can potentially
flash it back.
Come back.
Yes.
Or something.
So like Squee or Veteran Explorer are
or just another therapy.
Yeah, or a second one.
Fun, yeah.
Exactly.
He's just going to take the other counterbalance, or the first counterbalance, which could hurt things quite a bit, right?
It's a Slam Monastery Mentor.
Ooh, that's a clock. That's probably how game 1 ended, right?
So one slightly strange thing about Nate's deck that I'm just realizing is that he's actually not running Punishing Fire.
Yeah.
Like, which for a red-green, I feel like it's kind of strange to be playing the colors and not have Punishing Fire, because it doesn't take a lot out of your deck. You know, you're playing with a land that let's be real. This is another deck that does not care about your opponent's life total very much.
Yeah, what he really wanted right there was a Collective Brutality, taking out that.
He has a version with Grove P-Fire? Okay. That would make sense.
Yeah, you run out of space for sure.
Yeah,
and he's already doing it all, so you could almost see Punishing Fire as like a sideboard type change plan, but
okay. That'd be a lot of cards.
Yeah, I think there's probably better things you can be doing. And yeah, this deck list is posted in our Discord as well. Nate posted a link for it. Slime and Food Chain.
Too many thes. The Frozen Divide and the Hackbert.
Oh man, I need to change my name to have a the.
Seriously, the Kyre. Oh, that was sweet.
Surgical now, taking out Faithless Looting.
All Faithless Lootings. Yeah, this is a solid hit early, I think.
No faith. He's not even faithless anymore.
No.
Before he just had no faith. Now he's not even faithless. Can I get an invite to the Discord page? I can send you a link. Actually, just type !Discord, right? That's even faster.
Did it get changed?
I think so. There it is. Brian did it for you. We at Frozen Divide announcement. Check this one. It's like a very non-intrusive SWAT on stream here or something. Just keep pinging his phone. There's the brutality. probably a little late.
Yeah.
If Nate
more
could
than
get
likely.
out a Grizzlebrand, but
It's pretty much Bristlebrand or combo at this point. He's going to discard the unknown card, which was a Verdant Catacombs. And Nate needs a lot to get back into this game.
yeah, I think the mentor really hurt with the clock.
Yeah, he spent most of his resources kind of picking apart Josh's hand, and then he just ripped it off the top, slammed it down Nate with no answers.
So the brutality's on a token? Is that what just happened?
Yeah, he probably knew he wasn't going to get the mentor out of this. So now he's going to hit brutality. Is that what the card is? Yeah.
Yep. And
I just heard him talking, basically saying that this is basically what happened game one.
his mentor quickly.
Mentor, I don't think he's in the main, but he probably just like top decked the thing.
Creatures attack. Squeeze Chain doesn't get to do what it wants. It dirtled.
It did.
Eternally.
All
right. Our other match is probably on game 2. It looks like some spyglasses or spyglassing.
So we've got a Chalice on 0.
Josh, it's a Dream Crusher.
Yeah, seriously. 2 Sorcerer Spyglass. We're probably going to have to take some guesses at what these spyglasses are on. But we've got a Grim Monolith being cast, and then there's a Lightning Greaves on Loathsome Goal.
And I would guess at least one of those is on a Wasteland, but it looks like Wasteland has already done some damage too. Taking out an Ancient Tomb and a Caracas.
Yeah.
Josh, the Destroyer of Fun. Yeah, and then it does make sense. The other one's on Stage or on Ghost Quarter.
That's his Planeswalker name. Josh, comma.
Destroyer of Fun. I like it. K-Grip.
Oh boy.
Taking out one of the spyglasses. No more spying for that glass.
Nope.
Some depths. Some stage copying depths. Probably the one that just got de-spyglassed. That's a 2020.
Yeah.
Flying, indestructible. Not trample, because that'd be broken.
The card drawn was Staff of Domination.
That's actually intriguing. If you had enough mana, you could tap Merit Lage infinitely. He only needs 4 to do it and 3 to cast it.
Does he have it?
No, he doesn't have enough mana.
Are you sure?
He barely has enough mana to do it.
Yeah,
once.
he can do it. He just tap Monolith for it. Yeah.
And then you can untap. Put Rancor on it. Put a Rancor on it. If you like it, put a Rancor on it.
If you like it.
That sounds like something Brian would do if he was here. Gamble.
Look, Bryce's favorite Magic card.
Gamble. It's a totally fair tutor effect for 1 mana that isn't restricted or banned entirely. No.
Please gamble for Rancor.
That'd be great.
BT Roche, I don't think you ever saw, but back when I wasn't streaming all the time, we had a donation given by Jorgensen, and he made me put a Rancor in my Punishing Jund deck, and in that tournament I 3-0'd, and I also won a game because it gave me Delirium. And I won another game because it actually was on a creature and increased my clock.
So I think Paul just gambled for Corrosion Grip there and succeeded in his gamble and K-gripped the staff for the win.
So we're just done?
I think that's the end of Legacy for today. That's 4 rounds.
What?
We saw some interesting stuff happen.
Yeah, we really did. It's always nice coming in and
you can't tap in response because Crows and Grip. Yep. So split second means you can't do it. If he could have in response to the gamble,
right? Which
may have been the correct line there.
Well, guys, it's been fun.
Yep.
Might as well. It's been a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, we got to look at altars. Who doesn't have fun doing that?
We got to see Squee Chain.
We got to see Squee Food Chain Reanimator Nick Fit deck.
We got to see Mud. We got to see Mud today.
Mud did well.
Yeah.
Mud went 3-1.
That's great.
And did we even have an undefeated player?
Well, technically Paul. He went 3-0-1.
With a tie?
Yeah.
And I think the Squee deck is
2-2.
Intriguing.
2-2, Hackbert.
It's been real, question mark.
Yeah, so all of it looks like we did have quite a few new faces. I know we've mentioned this a couple times, but if you like the stream, you like hanging out here, please give us a follow. This way you can see when we go live, so you can hang out with us every Tuesday and every Friday if you would like to.
And if you really want, and you have like Amazon Prime and you have just this free subscription that you have forgotten about and you want to subscribe to us, we'll let you.
Won't stop you.
We won't say no. Follow these folks. He's like pleading.
We're not asking for much. We just want to follow. Just come hang out with us.
Right?
That's all.
Brian wants his stuff back. Huh.
What?
Okay. I guess we'll make sure he gets his stuff back. And then we'll hide it back wherever it was hidden.
All right. Hey, Nate, you can just keep it. Brian says just keep all the things.
Yep. Join us on Discord. We get sick of talking to ourselves. Sometimes it's just me in there talking to no one.
Yeah, Brian knows that Nate can't hear me when I say that, so oh well.
And hopefully next time the power won't go out midstream, right?
That would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
That'd be phenomenal. To do 4 rounds smooth stream
without the power going out.
Or any glitches, or we need to be specific, all right?
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, guys. I will be back here next Tuesday. Kyra should probably be back here Friday night for some more Legacy.
Friday with Matt. We're always excited to do 4 rounds of Legacy on Fridays as well. So see you guys soon, and Hail Heroes.
Right on. Thanks for joining us, guys.